tiny house movement is part of a social endeavor where people choose to downsize the space they live in. The typical American family home today is about 2,600 square feet, we're told. Well, tiny homes can range from just 100 to 400 square feet. They come in all shapes and forms, but just one size, small, with the focus on simplified living. In tonight's Making It Here report, Connecting Point producer Dave Fraser visits a man from Wilbraham who is building his first tiny house.
Tiny house living is actually scaling down from these grandiose ways to paring down to a much easier, simpler life. I've always been interested in living spaces. My wife as well. She's been interested in how we use space. A few years ago, we stumbled upon this gentleman that was starting a project, and we were enamored with it, and started exploring the possibilities of making our own. So here I am walking into what is now really the kitchen already. A tiny house is really technically anything under 500 square feet. That's what a tiny house is in America. So this is really the living space. It's small. As you can see, I'm about 5 feet 8 inches tall. So we've got, a little over 6 feet by maybe 6 feet of living space. This is the living room. There are benefits. Obviously, it's on a flatbed trailer, and you can build them on different sizes according to your needs. You don't have to own your own property, and you don't have to pay the taxes on that land. It's also it's built on wheels, so you really have to kind of build it to DOT standards. So it's a different way of living. It's much more cost effective, but it's also small luxury. We boxed in this stained glass window here. I actually bought this down in Boston, and this is actually Sir Francis Drake, he's rumored to be part of our family. And so I had this all reworked and then set in bulletproof glass. So we had to take into account, and I didn't think about this, but when you're going down the road, rocks fly up. So we wanted to protect it, and we put bulletproof glass over this Victorian stained glass window. Initially, people, from what they're looking at, they're like, oh, I could never live in one of these, until they actually step into it. It is too extreme for some people, and I understand that. You really have to consider the space that you use, and it can get cramped, especially, I don't know technically if I could live there with my wife and my dog without going crazy, but we're willing to try it. This was a science experiment. This was our first one. We discovered that what the pitfalls were and what some of the benefits were. We had to make the bathroom door couldn't really swing open because there's just limited wasted space. So we made a pocket door that would just slide. Things like that you really have to take into account. Opens up to reveal an incinerating toilet. Now this I found online, and it's actually pretty cool because you can open this up. There's a paper liner that goes in there. You do your business and you hit a button and actually incinerates it. It's electric, it's clean, and there's no plumbing. That's the beauty of it. So, I've been following this trend since about 2009 religiously, and I've been watching it grow and grow until it's finally hitting the mainstream now. There's actually 3 shows on right now: Tiny House Builders, Tiny House Nation, and Tiny House Hunters. So it's actually hit some mainstream status, and a lot of people are they're starting to question, is this something for us? Is this something, it really symbolizes freedom, and it's catching on.